Kristof, the founder of the All Academic Basketball Camp and co-founder of Zero Gravity Basketball. I went to Brandeis University, graduated in 2004 with a double major in economics and sociology. Went to Medfield High School with a 1,000-point score there. Had a recruiting kind of all over the board. Was fortunate, did a postgraduate year at Brewster Academy. Found I actually really liked school. Really, did well there, kind of grew and, had some UA and NESCAC schools started recruiting me then. Really opened up my eyes to the opportunity to go to a high-end school, and Brandeis just kind of felt like a good fit, being a greater Boston guy and playing in the UAA and getting to travel around the country. So it ended up just being a really good fit for me. It was Dave Boldick, so I was the last class before Jason Smith, so you can tell he got a lot better after I left. He made a lot of improvements there. I was the only player on my team that year who started and didn't end up playing at the scholarship level. It was really good, and played a very competitive schedule, and the Hamptons, Winchendons, and all that stuff. So it was very high level, but which is a great experience for me. So I'm grateful I didn't really prepare for college basketball because I could say the level in the UA was really, really good. I mean, playing that league, playing your WashU's and Emory's and NYU's, and all those schools had kids that were good enough to play basketball at the scholarship level. So it was a very high level, and having been through the process and going to practice and some games while I was in high school and prep school, I was aware of how good it was, and I was not surprised. It was a great experience from that standpoint, because I certainly was not underwhelmed by the competition. It's a lot of really good players, both on my team and guys I played against. So no letdown there. The basketball experience was really good. I could say the level in the UA was really, really good. I mean, playing that league, playing your WashU's and Emory's and NYU's, and all those schools had kids that were good enough to play basketball at the scholarship level. So it was a very high level, and having been through the process and going to practice and some games while I was in high school and prep school, I was aware of how good it was, and I was not surprised. And it was a great experience from that standpoint, because I certainly was not underwhelmed by the competition. It's a lot of really good players, both on my team and guys I played against. So no letdown there. The basketball experience was really good. Definitely, for sure, and it's really cool because a lot of my friends are doing really well. Whether it's real estate, investment banking, law, owning their own business. So it's been a really cool thing like that, to see the success of everyone using the basketball platform to better their lives and really kind of attack every day. So it was good to have a group of people that have done that, and having run also the camp for so many years that we had at Brandeis, was able to stay in touch with guys that were there for years after. So kind of continuing that network in the league. And, there have been some guys that played against in college that I'm in touch with today too. So it's been a really cool thing network-wise. Our all academic camp in Brentwood, first thing we ran there in 2006. Really cool, had 80 players. They were from all over the country. I remember, how hard worked that first year, calling people on the West Coast and the Midwest and all the prep school coaches that first year. And it was really, really good. And we had a great mix of, Ivy League, down to kind of high Division III kids that first year. Were very select about who we brought in. Had schools from all over the country, from as high level as Notre Dame, Stanford, down to all the academic Division III. So it was a really cool experience we built on and grew and expanded out across the country. I thought I was probably nuts starting that off. Didn't think it would work, and other people kind of got it and said, "Wow, we've been looking for a platform like this for our players. Thank you." So it was a tale of two cities, I guess I would say. Some people really embraced it right away. Some people didn't get it right away, but by year 2, 3, I think it was really a widely embraced concept, and everyone really enjoyed it. The quality was so good, so kind of grew organically by the third year. We're able to get, it was also good because a lot of college coaches were looking for it too. Fortunately, having played, had a good relationship, obviously, with the staff at Brandeis and some other local schools. And, they gave us a list of guys that they wanted to get onto one roof so they could compare them. So, the kids, I think, really appreciate being recognized, as a high academic, high recruited player, and to be under one building and kind of be able to play against guys from around the country that had similar abilities and mindsets to them. So that was a pretty easy sell overall. But year one, no one knows who you are, so it makes it a little bit of a harder thing, kind of trying to get people to understand who you are, what you're all about, and that it's a real thing. But once we got past that, I would say very easy sell because everyone understood the mission, was very clear, and it made a lot of sense. When he gave it at the time, was actually a kind of a quasi-competitor of mine, now a business partner of mine, Ryan Silver, who runs West Coast Elite, is now a partner with us in academic basketball and a three-step. Gave one about gratitude at camp, and just a really fantastic speech, really hit home to everyone. And he asked me, brought a bunch of kids about 4 years ago to our camp at Brandeis, and he asked if I could speak, and I was like, yeah, of course. And I think he was kind of surprised that I let him speak, because he also ran academic camps at the time that were somewhat competitive ours in those different parts of the country. And let him speak and was blown away by the passion and kind of the messaging, about gratitude and how thankful these kids should be for the opportunity. And something that stuck with me to today. And Ryan and I are great friends and business partners now. So it was an extremely impactful speech he gave, and left an impact on my life. I think it's important because it's not just about the X and O's of it, right, or skill development. It's about life development, life skills, and if you can take something away life-wise and something basketball-wise away, from a 3-day camp, that's a huge victory in my opinion. I think it's a great thing. I think we always talk to kids in speech and say, show the coach what you can do, not what you can't do. So play within yourself, and I think being a good teammate, because the coaches are looking for that. They're not looking for someone who's, over dribbling or taking bad shots or, trying to be selfish. They want guys that are team concept, that are hustling, that are going to make their team better, because they're trying to value as a college basketball player. I think it sounds cliche, but I think they want an addition of being on their team. So the way you are with your teammates, the way you hustle, the way you pass the ball, the way you defend, these college guys are really looking at all that stuff directly. And, they don't want guys who are going to play, out of their realm. They don't want that in college, because that's not the winning way to do it. So, being true to yourself and playing as hard as you can and showcasing what you can do is ultimately what is best for you in a 3-day camp setting. Of course, we really try to get, coaches that are part of our mission statement about really the student athletes. So, we get assistant coaches from the most highly selective colleges and universities around the country. A lot of them former players, or guys who, like you said, are associate head or head prep school, private school coaches who really understand the process to place kids. So we're very selective about those, because we want to make sure that they're able to talk to the kids from an educational process in the games and the practice and lectures with those kids about what it's going to be like in college. So the only way we can learn that is from someone that's been through it, who's taught it, who kind of understands the process. So it's not just the best basketball guys, who also have the educational background that we're looking for. But I think really what it was a blending. We get a lot of coaches from the East Coast that go out and work our camps on the West Coast and vice versa. So, making sure that the schedules sync up so they don't overlap. And really what we've done is given the coaches on both coasts in the middle of the country the ability to go different places and really recruit nationally. So it's been a huge win, and the feedback from the college coaches that have bought in has been fantastic, because, we can help them recruit while they're working, and, paying kind of offsets that travel budget. It's not in Kentucky, they're not flying on that private jet to each recruiting stop. So being able to help those guys offset the cost has been fantastic. It's kind of created a win-win for them. And listen, you're not going to be able to see everyone, but I also look at, when you're at these high second schools, you kind of have to recruit nationally, right? Because you look at kids with high achieving and, certain schools, you want guys that aren't as over-recruited and give a chance to see some diamonds in the rough, or, a lot of times these kids are more and more worldly. A lot of kids from the West Coast going to schools in the East Coast and vice versa, and, from the Midwest. And it's just a really cool opportunity, and it brings awareness about, kind of how national high-level Division III basketball is, and there are great schools, in every pocket of the country. I think the junior MBA kind of flagship network is great. You get to exchange ideas with guys and peers. And the thing that's interesting is it's not like an insurance or finance where you have kind of conventions and things like that in grassroots sports. There's no, you got to kind of find your own network. So to bring together kind of best in class club coaches and other event operators has been fantastic. Guys with pro skills are as good as it gets nationally. You're able to do some stuff like several of their teams in different parts of the country playing our ZGXL, our exposure league this spring. We've had some of their kids come to our academic camp, and we've recommended players their way. So great kind of exchanging of deal flow, but also respect for what they've done as business people and basketball ambassadors. And I think they've done the same with us. So having the opportunity to be around other people that are really trying to do it the right way at a high level has been a fantastic experience these last, 4 or 5 years now. Well, to me, I think that the network more than anything, and just kind of understanding kind of what's out there and being able to just exchange ideas. I don't think there's any one specific thing that jumps out to more than the other. I think it's a great exchange of ideas, knowing that you have a peer group out there nationally who can say, hey, I'm struggling with this, or I'm thinking about this, what's your take? And those guys are all willing to share ideas. Guys like Fran Winters or Ryan Silver on that, or Jim Fox from the Lightning, all really high level thinkers, guys that want best for basketball and are successful business people as well. So it's really nice to be able to bounce ideas off people that aren't just in your company and we see each other every day. It's nice to get an outside perspective once in a while from people you really respect. This year I think we're running 24 or 25 events as part of the showcase. We'll have our 2 big camps. We'll have our all academic camp. It'll be at Babson this year, and then on the West Coast, our academic Super Bowl. The Ryan's group kind of spirits. We're able to have pockets all over the country in major cities. Throughout the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Texas. So utilizing our network, we're doing things that we never could have done 5-10 years ago. And we brought recruiting kids because, again, not everyone has the means to get on a plane to go to camp, right? I think so for us to bring the action to them, but also to have some national camps is great. So we've provided something for everybody who's really working hard to be a top level student athlete, and something I'm very proud of. We're providing more opportunities. I also think, like our, through streaming and, different scouting reports, we're getting more information out there to kids and trying to be more efficient. I think if the pandemic has taught us nothing, you've got to be resourceful. And sometimes you got to go to people and not necessarily have them come to you. So, our rollout strategy is really good. And for sure, 5-10 years ago, no way we could have done it at this level. And, having Jason Smith in my office has been great, really taking this project and help expand it. And real go-getter and has embraced this journey and helped us grow a great deal in the last couple of years. Yeah, it's a great question. I think to me, we're, no player left behind group. We always have been. I think everyone's got to contribute something, so it means something to it. But we've done things like work exchange and help people with financial aid to the camp, because you don't want anyone not to get the opportunity, because of financial situations. So we work with everyone, and every situation is different. But that's why we spend a lot of time on the phone talking to coaches and players and working out. We want to make sure every player deserves to have the opportunity to work hard on the court and in the classroom, deserves to have that opportunity. And we're not finished yet, but really, I think what we're doing with live streaming going forward is going to be a huge part of that. I think, sending out clips and the whole thing to coach, I think that's a big piece. On a non-technology part, I think going back to the basics of talking to everyone, even during the pandemic, is, hey, we're not having events this year, but still reaching out to our contacts nationally with coaches. Hey, we're coming back, or can we help any of your kids get connected with coaches? So, there's a technology piece, but there's also interpersonal touch that I don't think a lot of people did during it. A lot of, I'm sure other operators say, hey, we don't have any events, no need to call. We did the opposite. We made twice as many phone calls this year. One, we had time to, but also because, in the time of need, you want to help all these coaches and players still get connected, and it's a big part of what we do. So there's a technology piece, but also an interpersonal piece that was different this year, and you got to adapt to the situation. I'm really proud of what we did. To me, it's all about helping people, and kind of keeping the network. And I also think from this standpoint, people remember when you work with them in the hard times, and for college coaches recommending players where it's worked out, or they get an opportunity to see somebody. It's a special thing, and I think that's why I've had such a loyal following of college coaches over the years. Why our camp in the Northeast, consistently gets 120 to 160 college coaches, in July, is because they know we care and they know we're working to help get them prospects to be seen. So you got to do that stuff in the hard times, and hopefully never have to experience anything else like this in our lifetime. But when you have adversity, you got to work through it. Yeah, no, I think a cool thing. So, one of the new things we're going to be doing in 2022 is we're going to have an all-academic, all-American game. So, similar like a McDonald's or a Jordan Brand game, but for the best student athletes. And, we're going to have a rotating site between New York, Boston, Chicago, and LA every year. So that's something we're working on right now. We're putting together our board of directors and our plan. So, just further celebrating the student athlete, something that's really exciting. And, we're excited to continue to work with you and everything that you're doing. It's a phenomenal opportunity, and I'm glad we're out here, same mission, trying to celebrate the student athletes. So a lot of gratitude and excitement for 2021 and beyond.